Let's dive right into this explainer. If you're in pharma manufacturing, you already know the deal. Regulatory compliance isn't just about passing an inspection. It's about literally guaranteeing patient safety every single step of the way. So today, we're taking an architectural tour of the master blueprint that makes all of this possible, the Site Master File. Before a single pill is pressed or a vial is filled, we really have to ask ourselves a fundamental question. How does a facility unequivocally prove its adherence to good manufacturing practices? Because, you can't just look an inspector in the eye and say, "Trust us, we're safe." You have to document it comprehensively.
And the answer to that? It lies entirely in the Site Master File, or SMF. According to the updated Good Manufacturing Practices in Schedule M, the SMS is basically the definitive living DNA of your entire manufacturing operation. It's succinct, sure, but it contains highly specific, factual information about the production and control of drugs at any licensed premises. It is absolutely the bedrock of your quality management system.
Now, the most crucial takeaway here is that this document isn't just some nice-to-have industry best practice. It is a strict legal requirement. Rule 17.2.9 of the drugs rules actually mandates that the SMF be prepared and kept completely up to date. It's a living document. If your facility changes out a major piece of equipment or, say, alters its organizational structure, your Site Master File must immediately reflect that new reality, no exceptions. So, to truly understand this, we're going to explore 4 critical pillars: facility foundation and personnel, premises, equipment and sanitation, production and quality control, and finally, safety nets and inspections. First up, facility foundation and personnel, the people and the plan. The SMF kicks off with the big picture. It demands a totally holistic view of the firm. We're talking flowcharts for licensed product types and an exact headcount of employees across production, QC, and distribution. It lays literally everything out on the table from page 1, including a detailed description of your quality management system and all your risk assessments. But meticulously documenting the human element is just as vital. It's not enough to just count your employees, right? You have to prove they are actually qualified. The blueprint requires a clear organizational chart listing the exact qualifications and responsibilities of key personnel. Crucially, it also documents strict health requirements and personal hygiene rules, right down to the specific clothing they have to wear on the production floor. Moving on to our next stop, premises, equipment, and sanitation, the physical infrastructure. The SMF demands what we call a dual focus. You're simultaneously tracking the safety of the physical rooms alongside the calibration of the machines inside those rooms. So on the premises side, you need scaled plans detailing ventilation, sterile room classifications, toxic material handling, the whole shebang. And on the equipment side, you have to provide comprehensive lists of major machinery, preventive maintenance schedules, and completely rock-solid validation records for all computerized systems. And of course, maintaining a pristine environment is completely non-negotiable. The SMF formally logs written specifications and procedures for keeping everything flawlessly clean. Every single inch of the manufacturing area and every piece of equipment must have a documented, validated cleaning procedure. Next up, production and quality control, operations and oversight. The SMF requires strictly documented flow of operations that maps the entire journey of your materials. It tracks everything from handling the starting materials at the loading dock to managing bulk products, executing quarantine protocols, all the way to the precise procedures for formally releasing safe products or, rejecting flawed ones. The major takeaway here is that quality control isn't just about checking finished pills at the end of the line. The SMF outlines their entire ecosystem of oversight. This details change control procedures, master validation plans, and exactly how product quality reviews are conducted. It ensures unshakable procedures are in place before any finished product is released. And let's not forget the paperwork itself. Good documentation is the absolute core of quality assurance. The SMF demands strict arrangements for preparing, revising, and distributing every critical document in the facility. This includes anything related to product quality that might slip through the cracks elsewhere, like, for example, microbiological controls for air and water. Finally, let's look at safety nets and inspections, contingency and compliance. To prevent blind spots, the blueprint mandates meticulous records of exactly where drugs go through your distribution channels. If you work with loan licensees, the SMF details exactly how you assess their compliance. It also requires a really robust self-inspection system, documenting how you audit yourself and whether you bring in independent external GMP experts for evaluation.
Now, if a crisis strikes, this is where the SMF proves its ultimate worth. It requires you to have pre-established, unshakable protocols for investigating complaints and rapidly recalling products. Think about it. You cannot figure out how to do a product recall on the day you actually need to do one. The arrangements for handling both complaints and product recalls must be clearly laid out in the Site Master File well in advance, ensuring patient safety remains the absolute priority.
So this entire explainer really boils down to one final essential question for anyone in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Is your Site Master File truly up to date? It's not just a document that sits collecting dust on a shelf, it's the living blueprint of your facility's commitment to safety, quality, and compliance. If an inspector walked in today, would your SMF accurately reflect the reality on your floor? Take that thought with you, and thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the Site Master File.